Hi, good afternoon, Isabel. How are you doing?
Good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, great. Thank you so much for finding some time to have a chat with me. Ladies and gentlemen, this afternoon I am chatting with Isabelle Oakland, who is one of our shining stars of the youth of the community. Although you're already pretty much a young professional almost. Isabel's in Nottingham
English.
studying English. Tell us about that. How's it all been going? And how are you coping with university right now? Because I guess things are pretty different.
So it's been an absolutely phenomenal degree. Really, really interesting. I get to cover such a wide range of things because the modules have such wide scope. So I can go into a language and linguistics module and there'll be a diagram of the brain on the slides because we'll be talking about memory loss or something like that. Coronavirus has certainly influenced learning insofar as we've moved online. But
so is university just carrying on as normal for the moment?
So what happened was on the Monday, that big Boris speech on the Monday, it must have been 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
We got an email from the university saying we're going to transition to online teaching by the 23rd. So you won't be coming in at all. And then pretty much what happened was everyone moved out within that week. I was back at home and all teaching is now, for my degree, is asynchronous, which means that it's pre-recorded lectures, seminars are kind of do them whenever you can, and workshops are also pre-recorded. So there's not much face-to-face teaching unless you request a meeting with a teacher.
Wow. So you literally left Nottingham, you've moved back home, and your life, your friends, your social life, everything's kind of changed significantly.
Yeah, it's been really, really bizarre. I didn't even get a chance to say goodbye to all of my friends because on the Monday I moved out quite late at night and it was really, really sudden. Within 3 hours, my mum had phoned me, I'd packed up, my dad had driven to Nottingham and I was back in London, which is very bizarre. I mean, luckily we're in an age now where we have so much technology. Had this happened even 10 years ago, I don't think I'd have been able to stay as in contact with my friends as I have now. We're all FaceTiming and Zooming all the time.
I mean, you guys, teenagers, young people were doing this long before the lockdown. I think for the grandparents that I've been interviewing, it's been more of a challenge and adapting to new situations. Your younger brother's doing is it A-levels or GCSEs right now?
Well, notionally GCSEs, but I'm not, they've been cancelled, so I guess he's not anymore.
Every schoolboy's dream come true, or is it a disaster? How does he feel about it?
I think he's all right about it. He kind of, we discussed it with him and he went, yeah, all right. And then just went off to do his own thing, really. I don't think it's fazed him much.
Sure. So tell us a little bit about what life's been like for you in 60 seconds, growing up in St. John's Wood, being an active member of Tribe, going on all the various camps, programs, events. Give everyone an insight for those people who don't know much about that.
So it's really hard to know where to start. I started getting involved in shul. I go on Shabbat afternoons when I was quite young. So I'd say maybe 7. I'd always been going to children's services. Then in year 7, so I was 10 years old because I'm young in the year, I decided that I wanted to go on summer camp. So I went on Tribe camp. Absolutely loved it. Wanted to do it as many times a year as I could. Unfortunately, they only did it once a year. I know some organisations do more than once. And then from the age of 10 to 16, I was going on summer camp every single year. Then I did Israel tour with Tribe, which I know unfortunately lots of people have had, or maybe all the tours now have been cancelled, which is a real shame because for me, I made a really, really lovely group of friends and about 20 of us went on to lead summer camp with Tribe the next summer. So in the summer of maybe 2017, I think, or maybe it was 2018, I ran 2 consecutive summer camps. So I ran for year 5 and then for year 6. Loved it so much, I decided I wanted to do it again. Throughout the year, Tribe does these amazing things for year 5 children and year 6 children if you go to a Jewish school where they run Shabbat. So I volunteered also to be a madrika on those. So that meant I kind of got my camp fix before the summer. So those tend to be kind of December to March time. So I was doing those regularly. And
you went to Habs though, didn't you? You were in
yeah,
Habs.
so I've been at a non-Jewish school since I was 4. So that was where Tribe was so amazing for me, was I made my Jewish friends at Tribe. And it gave me a real balance, because my main Jewish education was through tribal Cheder at this shul.
Right. And you've obviously gone through quite a few generations of youth directors in the community.
Yeah.
I mean, the Reindorps are amazing. I know you're quite close to them, and any of their predecessors as well. You want to give a shout out to them?
Yeah, so Elisheva and Johnny. We also had Sarah and Gideon, and also, though I know her more as my Cheder teacher, Shira and Rafi Joseph.
Sure, very good friends of ours. Fantastic.
So,
You've really been through it. Now, I'm sure people watching this, especially grandparents and parents, will be keen to know what life's like on campus for a Jewish girl who's grown up in St. John's Wood, gone to Habs, now gone off to Nottingham to study English. And there's a lot of talk of anti-Semitism on campus. I don't know if you could share with us if you've ever experienced any of that, or what your experience has been, and what Jewish life in general has been for you, going from St. John's Wood, a very warm, busy, thriving Jewish community, off to Nottingham. How's that transition been Jewishly?
I've actually found the transition pretty easy. Nottingham's been amazing. The main anti-Semitic incident that we had was not so much a specific attack on me, but rather that I believe it was the History and Politics Society decided to invite Chris Williamson, the MP, to the university, and he came anyway. But UJS is a great source of support for the Jewish community, and they're the Union of Jewish Students, and they all helped. I'm not sure who specifically organised, but we got a counter speaker to come, and there was a protest. But apart from that, I've had no issues. I don't think my friends have had any issues at all. For most things, it's just been people who've never met a Jew before. The accommodation
Really?
I'm in is quite Jewish. It just happens to have a lot of Nottingham's Jews in the hall. And one of my friends said to me, you know, I'd never ever met a Jew before I got to Nottingham, and here I am, I'm surrounded by them. I didn't know there were this many. And it's, for most people, it's just a bit of a culture shock. But Jewish life on campus is amazing. I have something Jewish at least 3 times a week. So there's Chabad, who's incredibly active. My Chabad couple are Mendy and Brocha Lent.
Sure.
They actually know Mendel and Chai, and they are just phenomenal. I go to their Friday night dinners every week, and
Amazing.
they just always have something on. And then there's also Aish on campus who run events as well. So it means that I've been able to develop a very strong network of Jewish friends as well, which is really, really lucky.
That's amazing.
But I knew when I picked Nottingham that the Jewish community is very vibrant.
What year are you in?
I'm first year.
First year. Wow. And in terms of plans for the future, what career-wise or summer plans? What's your plans?
Well, it seems a bit different to English, but I'm actually hoping to go into finance. But it's just always interested me. But I knew that for my degree, I wanted to spend 3 years doing something that I truly, truly love and I'm really passionate about. And for me, that was English. I went through school adoring it and knew that it was perfect for my degree. And I was right, thank goodness.
Wow. Incredible. So career in finance, and tell me something. I know a career in finance requires a lot of internships and stuff like that. Is that being affected by the COVID-19? I guess your summer, you would have been looking to do something like that. What's that looking like?
So I'm in first year, but I did a Spring Insight Week at JP Morgan. Brilliant. And what they did was they actually moved it virtually. So I did the whole thing online, which was a really interesting experience. And I still learned so much. I was really, really lucky that they continue to run it, because everything's been so up in the air with COVID-19. I didn't think they'd even look at spring interns, because we're really at the bottom of the rung. Wow,
that's incredible. That is really, really sensational. Isabelle, it's been such a pleasure to chat to you and to gain an insight into your life and what you're going through. You know, this affects everyone from elderly to young people to university students to working people, families, and everyone and anyone in between. And to gain your insights has been hugely helpful. So thank you. And I wish you a
Thank
happy
you for interviewing
Passover.
me.
And look forward to see you soon.
You too.
All the
See you
best.
soon.
Bye.
Bye, Yoni.